I mean, I don't see how we can't be happy about that.
Decomposing, you been bugging.
It should. So I immediately, set myself up, to expect a new week. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Raider Nation. It's your boy Turf again. We're gonna try this one more time. If you know, you know. It's a beautiful day today. It's a beautiful evening, I should say, right? I'm assuming everybody watched the games. Unfortunately, LSU got bit. But hey, UConn Huskies won, baby. UConn Huskies won. Yeah, buddy. You didn't know, I'm born and raised in Hartford, Connecticut, a little town outside of Hartford called Windsor. So, definitely has a special, special place in my heart. Yeah, and we going back into it today. I did attempt this earlier, so it's not deja vu. It's not, you saw it earlier, you saw it. Don't worry. We get into it. We definitely get into it. As you know, I am doing overall grade on every player. Every single player. Top to bottom. Starting out with the top, Amir Abdullah is the first one on the list. So, I'd like to start there. First and foremost, who knows a lot about Amir, right? He's an interesting guy. He's a very interesting character. Born and raised out of Homeland, California, Homeland, Alabama, or Homewood. I don't know why I keep getting this wrong. I want to call it Hollywood. I want to call it Homewood. It's Homewood, Alabama. He's born June 13th, 1993. He's 30 years old, so he'll be turning 31 this year, right? He's 5'9", 200 pounds, 203 pounds. Yeah, and he was obviously a phenom in high school, a phenom in college. And I mean, anybody that can have a career in the NFL after 5-6 years, particularly as a running back, yeah, I think you deserve your props. Salute. So, with that being said, yeah, Abdullah, he actually could have went to Alabama. He could have went to a lot of schools coming out of high school, but just like my guy Marshall Faulk, everybody wanted him to be a cornerback. So yes, of course, Alabama wanted him. Everybody did. But unfortunately for him, everybody wanted him as a corner. So Nebraska was the only only university, just like San Diego State was the only university for Marshall Faulk that would allow him to run the rock. So off to Nebraska he is, and I am absolutely going to pull up those stats. Yeah, I'm going to take a risk on this particular one because I want to pull those stats up first and foremost. They're actually pretty impressive. Very, very impressive, to say the least. So let's see if I can create this. Let me see if I can find this file. Yeah, I think I got it. Here we go. Got that one. I'm gonna add one more. Hold on, no, I'm gonna wait. wait to put that up. Hold on, I'm going to add another one here in a second. Let's see, image. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see where we at with it. There it is. Okay. I think I know what I'm doing a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Let me flip this over here real quick. Let me get this to where I think I need it. All right. There we go. I still got the college one up. There we go. And let me see. I got one more thing to hit. And I think I'm right. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I think that does it. Let me know if you can see my screen, obviously, here. What we are looking at is college stats. So first and foremost, these would be his first 2 years of college. And boy, was it a doozy. I mean, he came right out, right? As a true freshman, he didn't really do too much. What you will see he's done as a true freshman is the special teams and return skills. That's obviously his bread and butter, if you will, when it comes to pretty much any and everything that he did, even in high school. But fresh out of high school, he didn't have a big freshman year, right? He had 12 carries against Iowa, second to last game of the season. Outside of that, very little, rushing yards or attempts. Very little receiving. No receiving, really. He only had one catch against Wyoming. Again, you're talking his freshman year, right? But kick returns, right? Kick returns, he went off. He had a lot of return yards. He had 211 yards on 5 returns on his second game in college. Next game, 129 on 3 returns. You know they didn't kick to him that next game. Tried him the game after that. 7 returns for 187. I mean, if the guy touched the ball, he did the damn thing when it came to special teams. And that was his first year, right? So obviously everyone knew what they were dealing with after that. So you weren't going to catch him doing much anymore after that. Don't get me wrong, you had to kick it off, right? So, excuse me. There were things you had to absolutely do in order for things to work properly. So, yes, they still kicked to him. Second year, now is when he's starting to kick up some dust offensively as a running back, right? He had 5, 7, 8 games of 100 plus more yards, definitely getting more attempts. His most rushing attempts in the game was 31 his second year in college. The most amount of yards in the game was 167, and the largest average in a game was 7 yards per carry. So yeah, he was eating it up. His sophomore year, he started to eat it up, something special. Didn't do much receiving out of the backfield. Obviously, he was the main back at this point, coming into his second year of college. Same thing when it comes to returns, man. They didn't allow him to return anything the first 4 games. 5th game, 5 returns, 142 yards, averaged 30 yards a return. Next game, 128, only averaged 16 that game. But hey, that was Ohio State. I mean, didn't rush the ball anymore as far as kick returns. Punt returns, he definitely, of course, ate it up as well. You guys can see these stats. I don't need to read everything off. I just think it's important to look at what he was good at. You know what I'm saying? What he was great at and what he was good at. It's no coinkydink, in my opinion, that we've had him for the amount of years we've had him, and his work ethic and what he's done on the special teams side of things. I know people disregard it. Everyone laughs at special teams. When you have a player that is predominantly that and he's taking up a roster spot, that's kind of tough. But in this scenario with the dual threat, with the ability to be somewhat of an every down back when needed, right? Not, longevity, not, throughout the season, things along those lines. If every running back got hurt and he needed to be every down back for the rest of the game, he can do it. He can produce. So, from that respect, first 2 years of college, right? You can't be mad at that. You can't be mad at that at all. Those numbers are solid. So now let's look at college 2, right? Let's look at college 2 here. Yeah, let's blow this up. I'm getting a little good at this, man. I'm starting to make this thing work. Let me know if you guys can't see. Should be able to see everything I got going right now. And I finally got the chat up and running. So shout out to the chat. Salute. I see everybody. Appreciate y'all. I'm going to do that rundown here in a minute, for sure. But now we are going to absolutely talk about the second half of this man's career. Wow. That's all I have to say, right? When it comes to college. Now totally kicking up dust, right? There's no question what Amir Abdullah is doing now in his third year, right? He's out the gate, 19 carries, 140. The guy had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He had 13 100-yard games, right? You didn't see him doing much with kick return, punt return at this point. Definitely had more solid numbers on receiving out of the backfield his third year as well. Just monster. Absolute monster. You guys can see these numbers. He averaged 11.3 yards per carry against Illinois. 20 carries, 225 yards. Wow. And 2 touchdowns. Yeah, that was definitely by far his best game as a junior. Ladies and gentlemen, that's impressive. Yeah, if you don't consider that to be impressive, I don't know what to tell you. We need to zoom in more? Dang. I don't know if I can get too much larger than that. You guys are going to have to blow up your screen. Yeah, and the funny thing is I'm actually looking at it regularly myself on the screen. So thank you for that feedback. Absolutely, I'm going to fix that for the next set of graphics that I do have. Hopefully the NFL graphics will be much better than this, but I'm definitely getting through the rest of this because I kind of zipped past that year 3 because year 4 is just mind-blowing. He had 4 200-plus yard games, and we're not talking against some, garbage teams. We're talking Florida Atlantic, Miami. You know what I'm saying? Rutgers, Rutgers is sometimes good. Illinois, these aren't, complete garbage teams, guys. He lit it up. Again, not as much receiving out of the backfield, but of course, college, right? They probably had somebody, a freshman, right? Somebody that, spelled them, gave him that time to do what he was doing on the field because 3 games he's averaged over 11 yards a carry. That's absolutely insane. So for the 53 games that Amir Abdullah played at the University of Nebraska, this man had 813 attempts rushing the ball, 4,588 yards for a career. That is outstanding. Clearly, that's averaging over 1,000 a year. He averaged over 5.6 yards a carry throughout his entire career at Nebraska. 39 touchdowns. Didn't receive the ball that much and having much receiving yards. He only had 73 catches and 690 yards, 9.5 a carry, or I should say a reception, and only 7 TDs. So nothing big right there. But the other thing that absolutely has to stick out, because it is what he's known for when it comes to our squad, and there's a reason why he's gotten accolades as a special teams player. But yeah, as a kick returner, 61 returns, 1,592 yards, ladies and gentlemen. That is 26 yards per return. That's outstanding. That is outstanding. Punt returns, 31, 316 yards, 10 yards per carry, only 1 touchdown. But still, I find these numbers to be impressive. We're talking, right? We are absolutely talking Nebraska, man. This was back in, they still had a solid division, the whole 9. So, absolutely amazing, man. That's absolutely amazing. Amazing. Stats. Gotta be happy with that. If you ask me, coming out of college and getting drafted, right, you're going to expect first, second round, third latest, right? So we all know he was drafted at number 54, so that's early in the second round of the draft, and he went to the Detroit Lions, right? So, with that being said, look at me. Got 2 of me up there. Now it's time to take a peek at those rushing yards, right? Let's take a look at these rushing yards based on what he did starting out with the Detroit Lions. So, for the people that may not know, right, he played for 3 other different teams, right? He played for Detroit, he played for the Vikings, he's played for the Panthers. He only played 1 year at the Panthers, and then, of course, last but not least, us. So let's take a look at this, man. Just off the rip, he's played 125 games, right? All right. This guy is a 10-year vet. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 1, 2. Yeah, he's 10-plus year vet, guys. 125 games. This is all of his rushing for all of NFL. 125 games he's played. Over 428 touches. But that's his whole entire career. That's his attempts. This is why I wanted to bring this up and show these type of stats, because that's for his entire career. From 2015 to 23, he's had a total of 428 carries. We ran Josh Jacobs into the ground with 340 carries for 1 season. Do you really think that man has a whole lot left in his gas tank? Really? 340 carries? That's less than 100. It's less than 100 for what this guy has done his entire career. That's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. But with that being said, 1,683 yards. He had 2 years in here that really killed his average, if you will, right? You got the 2018 season where he got traded from Detroit to the Vikings, played 3 games with Detroit, played 7 games with the Vikings. Didn't get much run, if anything at all. Maybe he got injured. This is something, so far back, I don't recall. But long story short, his average is only 3.9 yards a carry over his career. But I can assure you it's due to those 2 years, because every other year there's only 2 years on this chart that you guys should be able to see. Now, you guys can see this one, right? This one should be much better to see, right? So, and I am going to get to the chat. I'm going to get to the chat here in a hot second. As soon as I get finished with these rushing stats. I'm sorry, guys. As you know, hopefully you can see, We trying to do this in 4K. I'm trying to give you all some better visuals, better software, better everything. So we get into it. But yeah, it's long, 36, big whoop, only 6 yards. 6 touchdowns total, 81 first downs. That stuff's kind of, I shouldn't say it's irrelevant, but it's irrelevant to, what we're discussing, if you will. So yeah, let me check out the chat here. I want to see what's going on with the chat now that I can finally do some things here. I don't know how to put it up on the screen though. That's one thing. I got to work these things out, so we going to figure it out, man. I'm going to get there. My guy Randy's in the building. What up, Turf? 831 in the building. Raider transplant Angelo. If you haven't heard, tomorrow's show is going to be fire. I'm saying it right now. It may not be a whole lot of football talk. I'm sure Angelo is going to find a way, right? He'll get something out of me, but for the most part, tomorrow, Turf Special, 8:30 Central Standard Time. It's MMA and boxing, baby. And it's probably going to lean more towards boxing than anything because I think both Angelo and I adore boxing and we're sick about its state and, where it is in today's world. But, hey, we'll get there. I digress. Back to the crowd. Raider transplant. Turf, it's great that you're breaking down the running backs and grading them, especially since you played the position in college at a high level. I appreciate that, boss. Raider Ryan, what's going on, Turf? Man, I'm glad to see you in here too, Randy. Seriously, man, it's been a while, right? It's been a while, man. I'm hoping your health is good, man. You back. You're sticking with us. Gunsmoke Gang, GG. What's going on? We know chat lives matter, Turf. It's all good. I appreciate that, man. And shout out last but not least to Raider Paul. Hey, y'all really stick with us, man. Y'all really, really stick with us. I appreciate it. I really, really do. I can't stress that enough. Yeah, let's go back to this receiving core now. Let's look at the receiving crew. As far as his receiving yards throughout his career, right? This is it's pretty interesting because I would have thought he got used a lot more. You know what I mean? As far as receptions and so forth, again, we already know he's played a total of 125 games. He's only caught 163 balls, though. I don't know. I'd have to look at other stats for other guys that are more known for catching the ball out of the backfield. I have a very good feeling that the numbers are going to be much bigger than that. He's only had 1,200 yards receiving and 7.4 carry. Long again, 36, 8 TDs, right? 63 first downs. Again, those things we're not really too keen on. What sticks out to me on this chart, ladies and gentlemen, is he just started becoming that guy catching out of the backfield, if you think about it and you look at the numbers. His last 3 years have been outstanding from that respect. He's only getting 17 touches for the whole season, as far as 25 touches for the whole season, as far as when he played for us his first year. Second year, only 19. You know what I mean? So it's kind of tough to get a rhythm, and that's the other thing, right? Look, as Raider Transplant stated, man, I'm a running back. All running backs are different, right? We all come in different shapes, sizes, forms, all that stuff. You can have a big guy that's fast, a small guy that's slow. They come in all forms, shapes, and sizes, man. So when it comes to this guy, for his NFL career, it's going to be tough. And some of you guys, it's already a spoiler alert. You already know what grade I gave, right? But I'm going to wait till the end to give that grade. But this part right here, this is where your grade gets chopped a little bit, right? Even for rushing too, because being a running back, some guys, they only need 5-7 touches. Don't care when they get them. That's rundown for you. Shout out to my guy Rundown. I can't wait I'm definitely gonna have a chat with that guy as far as being a running back. We're definitely gonna get that in. We were definitely two different style running backs though. Rundown was leaving everybody. I was trying to run around people and more than likely through people for the most part. Different styles. I was the guy that needed the ball 20 times, right? And you better believe carry 15, 16, 17, 18. Defense is mad. They don't want to deal with me no more. It's just they want the game over. That was the type of running back I was. I was just as fresh the last play of the game as I was the first, if not better and stronger. So I really, really wore defenses down big time. I wasn't a big hitter, if you will, meaning I wasn't gashing you for 70, 80 yards. Again, that's Rundown's turf. That kid probably had more 70-yard touchdowns than we can count on hands, toes, the whole nine. But again, for him, he doesn't need a whole lot of touches. I tend to believe that Abdullah needs touches. The reason I say that is because, right, the stats, they just kind of show me that. Did he ever really get a chance to get going? Because when you look in college, he got a chance to get going, and now you start to see that production, right? You see those numbers go up. But in the NFL, where it's, you're fighting for literally every rep, every single rep, it's really hard. So, you know what I mean? These numbers, not that great. Again, it's knocking him down a little bit, in my opinion, for sure, because that matters. It absolutely matters, 100%. So let's get down to the part that he was brought to the team for, though, because this does matter. It's a third of the game, ladies and gentlemen, even though the rules are changing. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this new kickoff, right? There will be a new kickoff if you haven't noticed or heard, right? Rules all got approved, so we will be seeing something different there. But yes, absolutely. He's the special teams guy, so I mean that's where we're going with it. We're right at the special teams list now, ladies and gentlemen. And this is where our guy kicked up some dust. This is where, right? These are the accolades, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it's a third of the game, period. And this is where that grade that got beaten up quite a bit on those first two, now it shoots up. And I mean, you see it. 142 returns. The man had 3,487 yards returning throughout his career. Shout out. .6 yards averaging. Look, that means you're guaranteed to at least get to the 25 every time he's back there and touches the rock. Period. You're getting 25. As long as 100, it's 104. It is a little shocking that he hasn't had any touchdowns. That's a little shocking. But 20 plus carries, 109. That's crazy. Out of 142. And then 40 plus, right? 5. So that's 114 returns out of 142. And they all going for at least 20 yards. That's impressive if you ask me. Again, let me look. I think they have his accolades here somewhere. Yes, his career highlights and awards. Amir Abdullah is he was the NFL kickoff return yards leader in 2015 when he first got into the league. I wonder where he is now overall. And in college, right? All Big Ten in 13 and second team All Big Ten in 12 and 14. So his career NFL statistics we've already gone through. Total touchdowns, 14, 3,487 return yards. Rushing yards was only 1,600. Average was 3.9. Like I said, receptions 163, 1,200 receiving yards. So that's our guys' numbers. What do you guys think? You tell me. Again, like I say, when it comes to special teams, grade goes through the roof. Completely through the roof for me. So I'm curious as to what y'all think. Let me see if I can get this figured out here. Yeah, tell me what you think. Let's do it. Let's go back to the chat because chat lives matter. And like I said, eventually y'all gonna see this. So actually, you know what? Let me see if I can find a way. Yeah, because we're done. We're done for the day. Did I kill it? Yeah, I think I killed it. Already. I was gonna try to. I had a way to put the chat up. Thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I can't find it. Where is it at? Yeah, I'll have to save that for the next show. But I will have the chat up. You will be able to see it. Yeah, you will definitely be able to see it. Okay, so let's hit this chat. Rated transplant. The print is too small. Zoom on his name. Okay. And that was those other graphics. I finally got it right. Thank you. Turf, can you please play some videos of you putting in work back in the day? Oh, wow. I actually do have some junior college games. And I know my guy Rated Transplant Angelo, he found some stuff. I'll dig. I got a few things that I'm sure I can show. I know for a fact I got a couple of games from JUCO that's out there on the YouTube planet, and I'll be able to pull that up. Yeah, I was pretty. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty dope in JUCO. I was a bad man. Shout out to all my guys. Man, I had the best team, one of the best teams ever. As far as junior college, both my receivers blocked like freaking guards, and one of them was a $170 soaking wet. Shout out to Sean. Soaking wet. He went on to play Dominique Hightower. He went on to Fresno State. Man, I played with some outstanding guys. Man. Rated transplant. Turf was the main in JUCO and Montana State. I interviewed him a couple Sundays ago on Captain Jack YouTube. You are right. And I appreciate that, boys. I appreciate that. I'm going to get to you, 831 Raider. I'm absolutely going to get to you. I'm going to find something to put up here for y'all to see. And don't forget, I got my flag football, too. We got practice tomorrow. I'm about to get busy on them kids tomorrow in practice. Ooh, I wasn't as sore as I thought I was going to be from that last time I was out there boogieing. Yeah, we're going to get y'all some footage. Man, it's a lot of fun. Hey, if you haven't coached flag football or any football, at that young age, oh, man, you're killing yourself. Trust me. Get out there. I don't care what you don't know. It's an amazing time, man. It's an amazing time out there with these kids. And it's so wild, man. My son is doing his thing, man. I gotta give him his props. He had the best game I've seen, to be honest, since I've been going to this side. The kid had 2 pick sixes. 2 rushing touchdowns. They called 1 back because they cheated. And 2 passing touchdowns. You're talking about the kid when we first put him out there at 5'6", when they very first allowed him. He was the kid playing in the dirt, man. It was embarrassing, to say the least, right? Y'all know turf, super competitive. It was embarrassing, you know. I've always joked that my daughter had taken all of the athleticism out of the family from everybody, including me at this point. You know, I was completely nosediving, going downhill when it comes to mixed martial arts and competing in jiu-jitsu tournaments. You know, the health starts to go. 40 hits, whew, and 50 is this coming up. I'm not looking forward to that. But yeah, the kid had a hell of a game, man. Shout out to my guy. Hell of a game. All right, so let's get back to the chat live. Special teams might be more important with the new rules. Gunsmoke games, you are absolutely right. And that's why I consider it to be such a big deal. The L's are losses, I'm guessing. How's his stats on the losses looking? That's a good question, and I wish I'd have saw this. You know, again, I will figure this out, guys. Hopefully the picture looks great, right? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get this stuff together so that you guys are looking at some quality film here. So chime in on that. Let me know. Raider Ryan, Turf, what are your thoughts on running back Carson Steele from UCLA in the later rounds? That might not be a bad idea, man. I mean, guys, running backs, they really truly are a dime a dozen. And I don't say that because, right, the position got any easier or anything along those lines. It's just guys are more athletic and more talented. It's just so much easier for these athletes this day and age to figure it out. You know what I mean? It's just facts. I mean, don't get me wrong. You still have these guys that have the vision, right? There's that you don't teach. That you just don't teach. You either know it or you don't. You can figure it out before the ball is snapped. Even when the ball is snapped, you can kind of figure out what happens after the fact based on who got blown back, who got pushed to the right. All these things you can gauge. So yeah, that kid he's probably going to be starting, man. I mean, to be honest, there's going to be a lot of guys that come out of college this year that get a lot of running time, for sure. And I could see Carson Steele being one of them, 100%. Kid is a physical runner with some speed and a great blocker as well. Yes, absolutely. And again, this is one of those things that you can't pass up. I'll admit it. I wasn't great at it, but I wasn't horrible. I actually could hold my own when it came to blocking. But it's imperative, right? Anytime, any college level and up, you absolutely have to be able to block. And again, I'll be the first to admit I wasn't the greatest, but I was nowhere close to the worst. And in fact, definitely wasn't the worst on my team, on any of my teams. I made it a point to at least try, but it's tough at 5'9", 200 pounds, and you're dealing with 260-pound linebackers running as fast as you, if not faster. So it's a lot. It's not easy, man. It's not easy at all doing that. Yeah. So those numbers grew pretty good. Exactly right, Gunsmoke. Exactly right. And yeah, it's super hard to lose when your running back gets 200 yards. 11 a carry is nuts. Y'all are seeing what I see. And this is why Amir Abdullah is special. And we all get caught up, and I think we all forget, man. You make it to the league, man. I don't care how garbage someone wants to call you, man. And then you play 10 years? 10 years in the league at any position is beyond outstanding. It deserves the largest ovation of all. So, yeah. So notice hip drops a little towards the end. Like after Rutgers, he is tired or something. Yeah, they ran him into the ground, Gunsmoke. That was what that was, right? He was the guy. They ran him into the ground for sure. Randy, I agree. JJ's got some left, a lot left. I wouldn't say a lot. I do agree. I think that if they give him the right amount of carries, they can get more longevity out of him. But him playing 17 games, him playing 15 games this season is a pipe dream in my opinion. I don't see him playing 15 games. And I don't see him producing like he produced in that 340 carry season. I just don't. Again, go find a running back that did that and go look at his stats after the fact. There are very far and few between. There's exceptions to all rules, right? We know that. Derrick Henry. He's probably the first one that comes to mind who probably had back-to-back seasons of 300, carries. And killed it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So, yeah, absolutely. I get it. I think JJ is going to be all right. I don't know. It just depends on what they do with him. I do think that we got rid of him at the right time, though, especially for $15 million or 12, even $12 million. I think we got rid of him at the right time. So that's my 2 cents, man. I'm sticking to it. There we go. Oh, I think I'm learning some stuff. Oh, yeah, I am learning some stuff. Okay. Raider Paul salute. Everybody's saluting. 4K ultra wide, 21.9. Yes. To my guy, GM of the year, Chris Kimber made some amazing picks yesterday. Yes, he did, man. Yes, he did. My guy Charles is in the building. Working overtime, respect. Yeah, I'm trying to get those watch hours, Charles. I'm trying to get those watch hours. No, I actually was supposed to do this last week. Like I say, I've been working on this new software, trying to get things going. Yeah, I it's going to give me a little bit of time, guys, but I promise you, I like this setup. It's much better. It's way more customizable, as you can see. And it's going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting real quick. I can assure you for the next show, I'll have a little bit more. Absolutely have a little bit more. So, all right. Raider Transplant, checking in with me, man. I appreciate you giving me this. Audio is fantastic. Picture quality is fantastic. You freeze every once in a while with your image, so it might be your Wi-Fi or your Ethernet cable. Yeah, you know what? So what that is, you're absolutely right. I'm not hardwired. It's Wi-Fi. So I can hardwire, I guess. I have the ability to figure that out. I used to have a straight hardwire from my router, but I think my dog chewed it up. And it's a pain trying to get that ran again. But now that you say that, we all deserve no broken frames. I'm hoping this is a whole lot better than that first one that y'all might have seen if you saw earlier today. So Charles Washington, as long as you don't drag race expensive cars on main highway. It just showed that McDummy truly was clueless giving JJ so many carries. Dude, you are absolutely right. I don't even think he was clueless. What I think it was is he didn't care. He was just trying to make sure he kept his job. That's what I think. I don't think he gave two dams. They could have easily given more running time to other people. We had more than enough running backs that could carry some of that load. That was criminal, in my opinion. To give a running back 340 carries this day and age, that's criminal. Yeah, I don't know any other way to put that. Ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely criminal. So, but it is what it is, man. I mean, hey, we've seen worse. We have seen worse. So, yeah. Oh, wow. Gunsmoke. Bro had a duffel bag with guns, I heard, and a 49er player was involved. Wow. That damn dog. Definitely getting a new high-level Ethernet cable will make it perfect. Yep, I agree, man. Thank you for that, Transplant. I needed that. Yeah, I definitely needed to hear it. Any kind of input that will help this stream, help this picture, help everything. Raider Nation deserves it. So, we're at the end, ladies and gentlemen. What grade do I give Amir Abdullah for our team? Being on our team, right? A, B, C, D, F. Turf gives him a C. I give my guy a C, man. I give my guy a C. You know, he has the ability to get to a B minus this year. Yeah. He definitely does. Yeah. We'll see. I think he's going to have to be used a whole lot more. He's the more nimble of all of them. I don't know how my guy Austin Walter's looking. I don't know how Britton Brown's looking, right? Who knows what Addison is going to do. Those guys are more long bruisers anyways. They're not the speedsters, you know. And even, you know, Abdullah's not a speedster, but he's more agile. He's got shakes. You know what I'm saying? He can move. These other guys just run downhill, really, for the most part. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. But I give him a C, man. And I'm more than happy with, you know what I'm saying, with that. So yeah, thank you, Raider Nation, for showing up. Like I say, tomorrow's show, trust me, you do not want to miss it. We will not have a cap limit of 2 hours. I can assure you of that. And it will not shock me if it's just me and the guest talking by ourselves until after midnight. For all I know. All I can tell y'all is this is like a kid on Christmas, man. I cannot wait till tomorrow night. You have no idea. So tune in. Trust me, we won't have this super great 4K, you know, for this one, unfortunately. But don't worry. Turf is working on it. Before you know it, you'll be seeing this in Raider Syndicate, everywhere. It's just the quality and the standard that we are going to expect moving forward, right? So we getting it together, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all, man. Have a good night. Salute. I mean, I don't see how we can't be happy about that.
Decomposing, you been bugging.
It should. So I immediately, set myself up, to expect the movies. VIP section, you guys know how to do. So that's it.